Hey guys, so I thought today would be a great opportunity to talk about university as I'm going back there a few times this month to help out with an event called the Lumas. Now, if you're part of the University of Lincoln, you might know what the Lumas is. If you're not, then it's basically the university's take on the BAFTAs. So you get an invite, you go in suited and booted, you get photos taken, there's a presentation where there's a showcase of all different types of media, so photography, design, audio, film, and then later on in the evening there's an awards ceremony. So if you are part of the University of Lincoln, I'd highly recommend coming to the event because you don't only win an award, but there's so many opportunities to get to know other people, other filmmakers, other media specialists, and network with people that are actually in the industry. So that was only a very small part, very significant, but very small part of my life in third year. Other things that I managed to do in third year was make 2 spectacular films, in my opinion, obviously biased, but it pushed my film group to do things that we've never done before. So for example, we had a gliding scene where we had to put cameras inside and, well, try to put them outside of a plane to capture that, as well as filming underground in a cave and filming underwater, which are these are the kind of things that you don't really get taught in university. You get taught the basics, but these are the kind of things you have to sort out yourself, kind of source and research yourself. Other parts of third year included doing research and development projects. So in our first semester we were charged with creating something. So my group took on the chance to create an app. We didn't actually have to create it, we just had to come up with all the research and create booklets to say how the app would work, how much it would cost, and how viable it would be, and if there's anything sort of similar to it in the world at the moment. Now we created an app called Castaway, which is supposed to be for actors, well, talent, casting directors and producers really, to find each other in the real world. Sort of like a dating app, but for the media and talent industry. And in second semester we were given the opportunity to go and speak to companies that have already been set up and get the information from them and work it out from there. So me and my partner decided, well, if we're going to get a company, why not put some really well-known companies at the top, just, you know, just for fun. You don't know if they're going to say yes or no, so you might as well put them at the top and see what happens. So as we were both fans of the Harry Potter franchise, our first company at the top was Heyday Films. Heyday Films is a production company that handled Harry Potter, as well as things like Gravity and I Am Legend and a bunch of other amazing films. So those were our first choice. We wrote a little script to what we were going to say to them, we rung them up, and they immediately said yes. We were not expecting that. So we had to go to Heyday Films' office where David Heyman works. David Heyman. And speak to the people that work there and ask them questions about their company and how it works and what they get from it and how they go about their daily life, really. So these are the kind of things that you get to do in university that you don't really get to experience in normal life. You get to experience loads of other things in normal life, but this kind of forces you out there to do things you don't normally do. I never would have thought I'd get the opportunity to be in Heyday Films' office, or even bump into David Heyman, which happened, by the way. But it did. It happened. And it's just one of the most amazing feelings. So if you're feeling that your university life isn't going anywhere at the moment, try and, you know, grab the bull by the horns and do something you didn't think you would have done to begin with. After that, we had to do our dissertation. Well, you should have been doing your dissertation all the way through third year, but trying to figure out a question and then do it and then research as well as everything else, it kind of boggles your mind. So a lot of people can't quite cope. I didn't. The dissertation for me was the most excruciating part of third year. Needless to say, I did pass. It wasn't the best mark of third year. I think it was my only mark that was under a first, but I'm not too sour about that because everything else seemed to match up pretty well, and I already knew that I wasn't very good at essays, and that doesn't make you stupid, it doesn't make you a bad person, it just makes you not good at essays, I guess. It's just, people function in different ways. I've always been more practical than I have been mental. So yeah, after all of those were submitted, the only thing left was graduation, which was in September, and we finish in like March? April-ish time? Somewhere around there. So we had to wait all the way till September, where I was asked to be the student speaker at the graduation ceremony. I've never seen a student graduation speech before, so I was petrified. I stood up in front of everyone, I did my little speech, and people seemed to enjoy it. So that was unexpected, but amazing, because we had our graduation in the Lincoln Cathedral. Amazing architecture, and then we move on to the castle grounds afterwards to have photos and speak with people, and it was just an amazing day. It was so sunny and everyone was happy. Some people were crying because, you know, it was the end of university, but you can't really fault it, really. So yeah, now I've got a BA. What I do with that, I have no idea, but I've got it. That's what matters, and the certificate is somewhere in my house. That my parents have taken it somewhere. It's supposed to be framed. I guess my best advice to anyone who is currently at university or wants to go to university is, even though focus on your grades and make sure they're the best they can be, that's not the be-all and end-all of university. I think the best thing I've ever taken from university is the networking, the friends that I've made there, the people I've spoken to and learnt from. That's the kind of richness that you get from university life. Now, university isn't for everyone. Not everyone's going to want to go to university. Not everyone's going to want a degree. But if you do, don't worry about going straight away. I waited 2 years before I went to university. And I think those 2 years really did make a difference, because I was able to go into the real world. I was able to do some work and then decide for myself what I wanted to do in university. And then work out from there how I wanted to progress through that stage of my life. But yeah, you make a bunch of friends, you do a lot of networking, and then the people that you meet there are generally people that you kind of stick with for life. And my friends, well, yeah, I would say they're as nutty as I am, because we have this thing where we steal each other's phones. I don't steal their phones, but if they leave them lying around, then we just immediately open the camera and start taking photos. And they can get carried away. And I think the worst person out of my group of friends to do this is Dan. He's just, every opportunity, he was just on it. So yeah, that's about it. I hope some of this was useful. I don't know how it would be, but I hope it is. And I guess I'll see you next time.